Back to another video on the Echoes of the Three Rivers YouTube channel. On a bright, clear morning, we decided to step outside the classroom and take the students on a walk through the area surrounding the school. What began as a simple change of scenery turned into a day full of quiet lessons about the land, each other, and the world right outside their doors.
Now that after it finished raining and a lot of the sunlight, a lot of the leaves and a lot of the grass is starting to grow again, see? The grass is starting to be alive now, it has life. Look, you feel it? You can feel that moisture is still trapped inside there. All the rainwater is starting to absorb into the grass and into the trees. And that's what's bringing all the green out again. Remember when these were all dead? They didn't have leaves? Yeah.
The students were clearly glad for a break from their usual routine, whether it would be their schoolwork. But yet they remained curious and engaged the entire time.
I found a leaf. Strawberries are grown.
So a lot of these things, there's a lot of little seeds, okay? So when these things start to come apart like this, you'll see those seeds start to come up from the insides of these things here. So what happens is when these things fall onto the ground, right? These things fall onto the ground. Now you want to throw it on? You'll
get little trees like this.
Yeah, you'll get little trees start to form. Like this. Wherever you put it, that's where new trees will grow. So when it's hot,
That's
good texture.
It makes my hands sticky.
Yeah. We'll walk by the tree line. We'll see what else we can find. Yeah, spruce.
Limon willow, I think. What's happening?
It's raining.
Raining what?
You see this? Look. You see that?
Those are the seeds coming off the tree.
Oh, yellow. It's all pollen. So a lot of times when you
And there's what that's what honeybees make the honey from, that pollen, eh?
These are so awesome. Okay, come on, let's continue our walk. Perfect example of a spruce tree. Look, you see these little pink purple things right here? Those are spruce buds. And pretty soon, like those leaves, they're gonna start opening up soon. And these are the ones that you can
They look
eat.
like almost look like blueberries, right?
Yeah, I might eat one.
But they're spruce buds, like he's saying.
When
No,
they-
you
like
don't
when
eat
these
them.
when these start to
Not yet.
when these start to open up, you can eat these. Basically, you can eat them in a salad or whatever kind of. Some people they take these spruce buds and they dip them in chocolate. You ever have chocolate dipped strawberries? It's like the same thing. They dip these things into chocolate and they eat them. And there's a whole bunch of them. You see these little purple things all the way up the tree. A lot of spruce buds. And then that's the new growth. Yeah, you can eat them. That's what I'm saying. Because when it starts to open up and it starts to
And
go,
one of these are gonna grow
when they're bright green and soft, that's when you eat them.
You guys,
Look at the nice
I saw a
purple,
bird next to my house.
nice purple buds. And there's a bunch of
I
them.
saw a black bird.
So those are gonna be the new growth, boys and girls. You see these little buds right here? A lot of them are gonna start to grow out like these ones, like this. And they're gonna grow a bunch more leaves. So that way it can continue to grow tall. And then that's when you get them the most. When you gotta find the small trees, because if we look for a big spruce tree, we're gonna have to go high for them, right? But if we find a small one, we can just kind of bend the tree over like this, right? And then we can get all those buds from the top there. But we always get them from the bottom. Goes out in fives, and then even on the leaves like this. If it was a pine tree or if it was a different type of like a fir or a pine tree, it'll be flat. But since it's like a star, it's a spruce tree. And another way you can identify it too is on the bark. There's these little pins that grow out, the needles that grow out from the tree. So then as it grows bigger, it's gonna grow out like a big Christmas tree.
Things been there for years.
We're trying to convince Pip and Nick to pick it up and fix it up or put it away.
The grandfather rock right here. So if somebody wanted to come and collect this rock and use it in a sweat lodge, they'd be able to use it in a sweat lodge because it represents the grandfather. Right?
Burn it.
Grandfather stone.
burn it.
Yeah, they put it in the fire, and then after they put it in the fire, and they start to put it in the sweat lodge, the scapies means firekeeper. And the firekeeper grabs it with the pitchfork, and then they go and pull it into the fire and give it to the conductor of the lodge.
Covered in rock.
That's a grandfather as well. So the reason why I call them grandfather stones is because they're round, right? They're round rocks, and then that's what you want in the lodge.
Take this rock out.
You don't want rocks like this. There's nothing wrong with this rock, but we always want round ones because the round ones, they collect a lot of heat.
I want to run in the
You see these little green things right here? Those are little cranberries starting to grow. You see?
what is that?
Since it's raining now and since there's heat, they're gonna start popping. They're gonna start popping out. Okay?
Look like a pine cone.
Then one way you can identify these cranberry leaves is when you look at them. They have a line straight down the middle, and a lot of times they'll start going reddish. They'll start going burgundy type of color. A lot of times there's bearberries and those huckleberries. Those huckleberries you don't want to eat. Okay? You can eat them, but you don't want to eat them. Okay?
Why?
But the cranberries you want to eat. Cranberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. They're good for your heart. Good for your little brains as well as you guys are developing. Big tree right here, guys. This tree's probably been here for, what do you think? Guys, how long do you think it's been there? 6, 7 years? Oh my god, he's there 6, 7 years. More.
Look at that tree.
That tree's older than me. See the pine cones at the very top? They're red. This tree is over 100 years old.
That's one way you can identify the aspen trees too, is the leaves. They're not connected to the root as much, so they flow freely. So when you see these leaves dancing like that, that's when you know it's an aspen tree. And like I said, the poplar and aspen are the same things. People don't understand that. They grow in the same places, the exact same root systems. Just a little bit. A lot of that spruce will start to come out, and then that's when we can come to harvest it.
These are dandelions.
Dandelion.
And you can actually eat these, you know that?
So just like I was saying, you can put them
Justin will
in,
tell you, he knows more.
So it's like I was saying, you can put them in your salads and stuff like that. They give your salads some color. They're very nutritious as well. You can. This is one of the plants where you can eat the whole thing. You can eat this thing. You can eat the stem. You can eat these leaves. You can eat the roots, and they're very nutritious for you. So when you're starving in the woods, look at those little bugs in there too. There's little bugs in there. So that's why you gotta be careful when eating them. You can't just, okay? You gotta always be careful. You gotta clean them, wash them, shake them off, give them a little shake, and then that's when you can able to take them. But we're not taking any now, okay? We're letting them grow out.
Yeah.
So these rocks, they represent our grandfathers and our grandmothers. The ones that stay together and stay strong, and the ones that don't crack like this are the grandfathers. The reason for that is because the grandfathers and families, right, especially the men, the fathers and stuff, you know, they get up early in the morning, they work hard, they don't complain. They barely cry. They barely let out those types of emotions, right? And then there's the grandmothers. The grandmothers, when they give birth to us, the grandmothers, when they give birth to us, they break open for us. They literally break open so that they can give life to us. So that's the reason why the grandmothers break. Because then they're the ones that cry, the ones that like to vent a lot, they like to show emotion.
You're not allowed to take them.
And then that's the thing, is that's why the grandmothers, they break open, because they break open for us when they give life to us. Okay, so always remember that. The grandfathers, they stay strong together, they don't break. The grandmothers, they do crack slightly, and sometimes they crack right in half.
That's not gold.
See this one here? This one broke right in half.
I see it, but it's not gold.
I want it to be a big one, and then this cloth is gonna grow. It's gonna grow with the tree. It's gonna grow into the tree as well. It's gonna be part of the tree for the rest of the life. And then what's happening is basically that person is giving their prayers to the tree, so that tree can take their prayers all the way up and hold them up for them, right? So that's the teaching of those cloths, and we never ever touch those trees. The biggest tree planters in the world are squirrels, believe it or not. Because what happens, right? What happens when a tree falls over like this, or say for example they go up into a tree to collect a bunch of pine cones. When they collect those pine cones, they probably fit at least 8 or 10 of them into the mouth. Right? Yeah, he's looking at us right now. We're talking about him. right? So what happens is the squirrel fills up its mouth with a bunch of pine cones, and it goes to a certain area. It could be a certain hole like this, right here, right? And what the squirrel does is they put a bunch of pine cones into that hole, and then they dig it up and whatnot. And what happens is a lot of times that squirrel might never get back to those pine cones. The squirrel might die. The squirrel might end up on the other side of the world, start another life over there, right? So then they'll forget about those pine cones. They'll forget about those seeds. So what happens is those seeds end up becoming trees. And that's why a lot of times those trees, they grow up like this. They grow up like this. So this could have been a squirrel cache right here, because these are two different types of trees, two different types of cones, right? So then when the squirrel buries them, it grows out like that. Separately.
You guys know how to say squirrel in Cree? How do you say squirrel in Cree? Say, oh, look at that.